So, so we're gonna go through our trade today. Oh wait, maybe I'm better off. So this was the original idea, right? So we had an untapped 4-hour for value gap up here, and then we had session highs stacked, right? So I was also in my Discord live, looking at these. Now there was an S&T straight off the bat, on market open, and he did call out. I was never going to trade this, by the way, but it was good to know nonetheless. Look, we did the SMT, we came straight down, and then a 1 minute fair value gap with a reaction, and then from there we just straight bombed, which was fine. Now we had this 4-hour fair value gap, which is this box here. Now we did travel down, but we failed to reach it, right? So we then had retracement opportunities. So we had a 30-minute gap here, which we did end up inversing, but then we had this hour fair value gap, which was also overlapped with a 15-minute gap, which I will go into now. So here you go, 15-minute gap, 1 hour gap. Now I'm going to get rid of these because I don't exactly need them now, just whilst I'm showing you the trade itself. So the trade itself was break even today. You can see the P&L, just the tiniest bit of profit because it was just set at break even. Now I should have took some profits, but what happened was when we were down here where I could have took profits in the live Discord, the mentor said to take some profits here. At first he said he was going to let it run, so I was like, okay, and then I went away from the screen because I went to get some water, so I was away for like 5 minutes, and then we travelled back up. I'll go through the entry model in a minute. So we travelled back up, and then we were like here, and then he said he had already scaled out, and then he had runners. So he meant when he said he was letting it run, he scaled out already, and then he had a few runners. So yeah, I did have positions I could have took out, but it is what it is. It's essentially we were trading the reversal back down, and then we were going to target this untapped 4-hour fair value gap, which is this green line here. That's what I marked out. So that was exactly the main target. I mean, it was a great 1 to 4. Now at this 5 minute inverse, it was a 1 to 1.5. So I should have ideally just dropped out half the position or 0.5% profit, because we only risked a half trade on this, by the way. So to be fair, if I had risked full, I probably would have been out of the trade, because I was only going for $2,000 profit at this full TP. But essentially what happened was on the entry was really good. So after travelling up to that 1 hour gap, right, we had this break of structure plus an inverse. So we closed below this previous higher low, and then we inverse this 1 minute gap, right, which is brilliant. And then just delete this dead quick, inverse this, and then we had this breaker. So a breaker here, and then we came into the breaker, and then we reacted back out of it. So that was my essential entry for that. So my entries were all around here, because we came up here, and then I waited for this to close back down here before then entering again. I mean, to be fair, if I had entered this, because I remember I was about to enter and I just laid off just because I thought there's no point entering when it's climbing here. There was no point entering whatsoever on one of my accounts, because I would have just entered and I could have just lost, and there was no point. I wanted to see that confirmation back down because it wasn't looking good, and then we had this 30 seconds that came back down here and it looked okay, this inverse, and then that's when I entered back in. So that would have been a 1 to 3 in itself, but I think that would have just been stupid, because if I did that in future it probably wouldn't work out. So yeah, the 1 minute break of structure plus a 1 minute inverse, and then plus the breaker being tapped and a reaction, including the inverse as well. We came back into the inverse as well to retest it. We didn't react back out of it, but it was mainly this breaker, and it had a 1 minute fair value gap as well, if we can see. Yeah, 1 minute fair value gap into the breaker, which I'm pretty sure is a unicorn setup. And then from that, we basically targeted this 1 minute low to break even, which is exactly what we did. We set stops to break even, we didn't get greedy. And then the next level was this 5 minute fair value gap and this 5 minute inverse. That doubled over, and then from there we got a reaction back up, and then that's where we got stopped at break even. So yeah, I think the only lesson today is, because this also lined up with my own model, the reason I took this alongside him was because this is exactly how I would have traded, because we got an S&T at the highs anyway. So even on my old model, S&T at the highs, we would have, and we had a 1 hour fair value gap, a 15 minute fair value gap, even a 5 minute, I think. Yeah, some 5 minute fair value gaps, and then here, and then I would have literally just waited for this 1 minute break. I would have been in literally on this breaker structure here. I would have been in here, because we broke structure and we inversed, so I would have been in there, or I would have waited for the reaction back down, and I still would have put my stop loss up there. So I was confident because this lined up with all my confluences, and then we were targeting this unmitigated 4 hour fair value gap, and then we had also other lows, swing lows down here to draw to, and I believe, okay, so we took out the 4 hour low there, but yeah, it was this 4 hour gap mainly. But obviously we've rejected that idea now, which is fine. But yeah, absolutely fine on the day. It's just a shame I didn't end up taking at least half of the position out. But like I said, I was a bit confused when my mentor said that he was just letting it run. But he did also say pay the trader first, and he was telling everyone in the chat to get out. But because I was going for water, I was like, oh, I literally went for water around here. And then because I was gone for 5 minutes, look here, we'd come back up here by that point, and there's no point scaling out of position at that point now. So I was probably gone even longer than that, I think. Yeah, I was somewhere around here when I got back, but there was no news today either, I believe. Oh, here we go. So FOMC that, and then we've got meeting minutes late, like at 2 p.m. Eastern. So it was not worth the the hassle from it. It was a fine trading day. Oh, let's check what we have tomorrow. I believe we have a bit more going on tomorrow. Yeah, we have quite a lot going on tomorrow, which is and we have Jackson Hole Symposium, which is like the largest economic event in the world. That's on all weekend, I believe, or is it just on tomorrow, day 2? Okay, so it's on all weekend. So I expect on Saturday. So I expect Monday to open with a lot going on. So Monday will look okay. We got new home sales, so maybe there will be something going on. I don't trade GBP pairs, so saying that, I did take a GJ trade today. I'll actually go into that a little bit. I basically just put a lot of risk on my accounts because I was kind of sick of where they were going, and I was about to lose them, so I'm at break even on them, but I did kind of full port the accounts. But let's just focusing on this. It was a good reaction. It lined up with my model, essentially my old model, but trying to mix it in and understand his model more, and it lined up. So this is why I took this with him, and it was a lot better than yesterday's where I just clicked buy and sell. But yeah, next time I think because of how low time frame we're trading, I should have just marked these out, because we also had a 15-minute gap on top of this that we filled. So yeah, I feel like I should have just scaled out especially once it went against us, like especially here, maybe just close the full position or whatever. But yeah, I think next time, especially when he mentions to scale out, I probably will. So because you got to think, I'm only on a 100k top step, but when I'm on like max allocation, even like 0.5% for the day would be like 5, 6, maybe 10k. So a full day would be 20k, but I know I'm gonna scale out and know, okay, I've made 6k for the day. Even making like $500 on the day, well, I'm not. How can I complain against that? So yeah, that's about it really. There's not much more to go over. I'll be back tomorrow. There was, it sucks, but these are only lessons I can learn now. It's scaling out isn't something I used to do. It was more trailing my stop under structure. So this wasn't a big enough push down for me to then put my stop down here, just above these 1 minute lower highs. I would have wanted to see maybe a further push down here and past this gap, and then I would have trailed stop here. Obviously that didn't happen, and then obviously if we had pushed down through this 5 minute gap, it probably would have just gone straight down, tagging these 1 minute lows and then these external lows and into the 4 hour fair value gap. But yeah, just a quick video on today's trade. I'm looking at buying a take profit trader account. I've been told they're really good by my mentor. I'll still trade this top step, but yeah, I need to start increasing risk on good setups so I can either pass or don't pass, because these need to get passed like quickly. And then I need to start building a buffer, which is also important about taking profits when you need to take profits. So yeah, I'm probably gonna just stay in this mentorship for like 2 months and then probably back out of it, and treat it like that. But maybe I won't get a take profit trader account yet. I'll see how this top step account goes, because I'll need to weigh out the pricing of what's worth it, but then I also don't want to be trying to trade 2 accounts. Then again, I only need another tab open and then I can just click buy on one and buy on the other. But yeah, that's it for today. We'll go over this GJ trade real quick. These are the stocks I'm in at the moment. They've gone up a hell of a lot. I got in a lot down here, quite a few. But where's my GJ? So this is a swing. This is a swing trade I'm actually taking. If you can see. So I took it based on a 4 hour structure. I just did a safe trade. Look at this. I'm just targeting these external lows here. Don't know why I have that. Is it like a daily gap maybe? Oh no, that's that gap. Why have I got that layout? Anyway, yeah, so I have this, which is pretty good. I took a trade this morning, so if I just lock it, and can I hide this real quick? Yeah, right. So I actually took a Judas swing at first. So look, we came out, we take out these highs. We're already in 4 hour bearish structure. We tapped into an unmitigated 4 hour. Oh no, it's not unmitigated. It did tap in slightly here. So we did that. We came in, filled some. Well, we actually inversed these hourly fair value gaps. But so I did that. We had a nice look. We had a nice up move, and then we rejected. We inversed here. So inverse the 5 minute, and we had this was a good trade, a retest, and then a reaction. But mine was actually on the 1 minute, so we initially inversed this gap here, came down, and then I think I actually did it on this inversion. I entered, and then yes, I did, because I entered around probably here, and then my stop was here. So if you think on this trade today, look how. So this trade today, look, literally a 1 to 6, and I got stopped at break even because when it came down here, because I literally full potted the account pretty much. Once it came down here and took out these lows, because especially I took the trade on the 1 minute, I then just did that, and now look, we actually came back up and tested this this area here, and we tested this 5 minute fair value gap and inverse again. So is what it is, isn't it? I got stopped out, so then what I did was I ended up taking another trade like down here, again, because I was so confident in the bearish bias, and like I said, due to swing. So yeah, I ended up taking a trade like, I don't even remember what it was. It was something like this. Again, just a safe take profit, and then I set it to break even at a decent pace. And yeah, we're running pretty good right now. I'm running like 5% on my account. But yeah, we started consolidating now. I imagine we will do into the night. But yeah, this would have been a really good trade because even a Judah swing targeting Asia low, 1 to 3, and it would have took a while to hit. Not until New York pre-market open. But yeah, nothing to complain about really. So I'm just glad this trade's going well. It just sucked that this got stopped, but then again, I wouldn't have added the positions I did, so I actually don't know how. Oh no, actually, I would have made way more profit by now. But I can hold these trades on FTMO, so during the challenge phase, so that's what I'm doing. I don't have a position on my live account, though I probably should have done just for the day. But yeah, that's how we are playing right now. So it sucks that we broke even today, but what are you gonna do? What we're gonna do? So anyway, that's it. I'll upload a recap. I'm gonna do recaps from now on because I like being able to go over it, and plus because I'm in the live stream, I can't exactly live record. Because I'll just get the sound from the live stream on this. But yeah, that's about it for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We're still heavily bearish, and we now have, I know we took out these lows, but we have a big SMT on lows, I believe. Yeah, look, these lows here. Yeah, these lows here. Quite a big SMT now. And an SMT on these lows too. But we still have this unmitigated 4 off of our gap. We have this swing low, and then on top of that, we have a weekly fair value gap that's not been tapped, which is very interesting. We still have that same gap on ES, but we had a smaller weekly gap that did get tagged a couple of times. So yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe some more shorts, like again just targeting internal liquidity, and then going for this external. I think these will be super huge draws over the coming weeks and so on. But yeah, we'll see what price brings, and I'll just continue to do what I'm doing. It'll play out in the long term. I'll keep getting better. I'm way more patient. I was so patient today, especially in the stream, because I was never going to jump in that initial trade after like 5 minutes of market open. And then again, when it came down here, I saw these 30-minute fair value gaps and hourly fair value gaps, etc., forming without obviously the mentor's help. I can just see these on my own because, well, I wouldn't expect not to because I've been doing this long enough to know that. But and then I noticed that we didn't actually tap these the fair value gap. Or maybe he did. But yeah, it was still structurally valid because even though we came up on the 15-minute, we didn't inverse anything. We tapped the hourly fair value gap and the 15 fair value gap, maintained 15-minute bearish order flow, and then broke structure back down on the 5-minute during our trade. So it was really good. It was just sad that it rejected it. But nothing we can do about that. So yeah, I'll be back